Okay, we are here at #1 Hamburg in the, well, vintage room, the holy grail of guitars, and we have been shooting tons of guitars for their video channel called The World of Vintage Guitars. And we did an A/B comparison of the ENGL Diezel and the Iridium. So this is coming up very soon on our Academy of Tone. And there's a bunch of guitars you can see on the World of Vintage Guitar channels here. Everything here, erledigt means finished, finished, finished. Beautiful guitars. Okay, this is a very important book, I believe, which is the Price Guide 2022. So if you buy a Strat and then you have the correct numbers, you see it's 61 Strat is about 25 to 35,000. So latest prices, Kuno.
Nicht zu verkaufen.
Yeah, no, Kuno is never for sale. Yeah, okay. By the way, this is an old Ludwig drum kit from Pete Best, who used to be a drummer in the Beatles before Ringo Starr. Okay. Ja. Ja, schön euch zu sehen. Sehr schön. Okay, okay. Yeah, so some fans actually. Well, these are the amp rooms. Well, this is more the bass room. Yeah, for these guys. And next door we have the amp room with somebody's doing the noise here. Come on. Yeah. Hallo. Okay, moin. So, yeah, here's amps and more amps, Roy amps, ENGL amps, Fender amps, orange amps, vintage orange amps. Oh, yeah. Hey, and there's one more thing I have to show you, which is this here. These echo devices, it's all tape echoes. Echoplex, real Echoplex. And this is, I think, the Binson and the RE201, yeah, which we will have in this episode. Yeah. So, here, let's see this side of the store. While we're here, ding, ding, ding. I became a pretty good barista in the meantime. Fresh coffee. This is what you have to do here. Then click it, get it here. And then what you have to do is this. Put it in here. And then turn this knob, and somebody has a great coffee. I'll do that later. Okay. Gretsch guitars, Fender guitars.
Hey, moin.
Moin, alles gut? So, the acoustic, and we're actually here for the Crossroads Acoustic Festival, which is supposed to be outside. Yeah. Separate rooms to check out the acoustic guitars. One of those famous rock musicians. Maybe Slash, maybe not. Gut abgehangen, ja genau. Ja. So. Yeah, the tour, Nils Finkeisen, tada! And here we have the man himself, Thomas. And here he is himself in real. You can sit on him or you can meet him. Yeah, meet and greet. Okay, Crossroads Festival. Höfner Company, moin. Moin. Alles gut? Ja, Taylor. Moin.
Hast du deinen kleinen Amp jetzt als Pedal fertig?
Als Pedal, also mein Amp ist fertig, ja.
Diese Bodenträger?
Ja, also den gibt es auch schon die ganze Zeit, AMP1. Ja, ja.
AMP1,
Ja, ja. Alles da. Ja. Okay, Yamaha. Moin. What's this? Ah, Lakewood. Lakewood guitars. Klotz cables. Talking about Klotz cables, my favorite is the 6-meter Bonamassa cable. For some reason, that sounds pretty good with my guitars and my taste. And I like the speaker cable from Matthias Jabs for the heavy sounds. For the vintage sounds, I prefer our BluGuitar cables. But that's my personal comment here. Moin. Hallo, hallo, hallo. Hier. Oh, hier.
Das ist auch so ein Typ, der ist ja auch drin hier, ne? Guck mal, der ist ja auch in dem Hut.
Wo bin ich denn drin? Mach mal grad.
Pass mal auf, Thomas, wo bist du denn? Warte
Ja.
mal. Hier, guck mal.
Ah,
Das ist Thomas hier, ne?
ja, nice book. Siehste? Gut.
Kennt ihn, er ist bekannt.
Ja,
Wie ein bunter weiß ich nicht.
wie ein bunter Hund. Okay, seems like I'm known here. And there's another coffee shop. And yeah, pretty nice atmosphere here. Downtown Hamburg. And there's a little theater where we have some live action. If you go out over the parking, very, very nice place for concerts. Yeah, there was a band last night, and you know, for the guys to meet and have food and stuff. Yeah, this is what is probably on my list. You get this, and then you get food. Okay, cheers, guys. Yeah, welcome, Mr. Nils Finkeisen, for the Academy of Tone as a special guest. We have the chance to meet here in Hamburg. Number one, we are in the holy. Well,
again in the lounge, yeah.
In the lounge, yeah.
With two of my favorite touring amps, actually.
Yeah.
The ENGL Savage 120 MKII, the new one.
Yep.
And Peter Diezel's masterpiece, the VH4. The Holy Grail Metallica downstroke heavy metal amp.
Yeah, and we have the Iridium, which is also sometimes on tour with you, right?
Yes.
So you know all the three amps.
Yeah.
And we would like to have a little comparison so we know where we are at and what's great about the ENGL, what's great about the Diezel, what's working and great about the AMP1 and which channel and blah, blah, blah. So this is the thing. Hey, one question about the tour. These are the two guitar, oh, well, this is the guitar you had on tour because there's your blood on the...
Yes, yeah, that's part of my thumb is on the guitar already. I don't clean it. I know somebody else who's not cleaning his guitar either.
You know, this is actually a proof. You know, this somebody has been working.
Yeah, it has to be splattered looking in 2 years. I don't know. Yeah, this is the 1985 Chevelle San Dimas original with a Klopman anvil bridge pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my touring guitar about what I wanted to do because people complained. Last time when we did a high gauge shootout, I was playing Telecaster because I thought it might be fun to make this happen with a single coil, and it works.
Standard.
And now I took one guitar from Chevelle, Mexico, Fender Mexico, Chevelle branded, a 1,000 euro guitar from downstairs from our shop. It's not my guitar, not my personal guitar. It's your ordinary off-the-mill Chevelle. Nothing special.
Yeah.
With I think SH10 from Simbo Duncan in there. So
whatever it is, it's a regular, nice metal guitar, and so we have a reference point here.
Yes. Yeah.
Okie doke. Hey, let's listen to a few amps here. Yeah, I choose an amp.
Let's see what happens.
So okay, can you play? Okay.
it's tough for me to say which one of the three I hear. I would say it's not the VH4 because it feels a little different to play that amp, but it's extremely similar to the ENGL and to the Iridium, which are very similar.
Give it a
anyway,
guess.
let me have a look for the overtones. Probably the Iridium.
It is the ENGL. But anyway, so we have a great amp, the ENGL. So now I do the game and try to match it with the Iridium. I think it was somewhere else. Let's compare. You play, I switch, and dial in.
That's now probably the ENGL because of the slightly watered attack in the upper range. Very similar, kind of different, but would be the same for me in the band context.
So,
no
okay,
chance.
I guess again.
Give a second one.
The other one.
I would say the second one is the ENGL.
You're right. Okay.
But that's only because the ENGL has a slightly compressed attack and upper mid-range. It doesn't have that 3K spike in there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad to have it.
Yeah.
Very, very similar.
Okay, for the guys to know what I was doing on the Iridium is I used the modern channel. I used the boost on, actually with the boost all the way up, but I reduced the gain of the channel to like 6. So that gives me a lot of tightness from the front end, you know, because the boost is also kind of a little half tube screamer mid-hump. It's not all the way, but in the combination with that, I'm getting the most mids kind of to trigger the gain stage. And looking at the EQ, the mids are on 7. The bass is actually full right now, and the treble's on 5. And the custom control is closed. Yeah. Anyway, this is what the settings are, and you could hear the switching back and forth, and there is a difference, of course. I mean, but it is sometimes a matter of taste, and sometimes a matter of how much you want to carry.
Yeah, and it's always a little. The question is, does it feel the same to play the amp? And yes, it does. It's no problem to play the same stuff via Iridium or via ENGL.
Yeah.
They sound slightly different, and I tend to blend them. That's what I did on the last Die Krupp's European tour when I had the space to do it, and I just simply blended in the unboosted modern channel to this sound, to add something in the 3K range, some middle finger, and to have a nice dual amp setup where it could emulate guitars. One is playing and the second guitar is coming in the second half of the verse, for example. So
have extra
sound. And
what is the story about a Savage 120 Mark II? What was so special about it?
I think the whole Savage series from ENGL is pretty special compared to the other products. They're extremely death metal tight, they're a little 90s sounding. I know a lot of thrash metal guys who are playing the old Savage and they want to have it as a loner in Europe. It's like Exodus, they swear by the old amp. And my very first tube amp was a Savage 60, the small brother of the 120.
Remember that one.
And I got this in for review for Guitar and Bass magazine in 2020 when they released the second edition, or maybe 19 even. And I was totally blown away because it was like coming home for me in the same playing field. It's great with the telly as well. And I had to let this very first one go because it was just for testing for the magazine. And then a year later I visited them in their factory.
Yeah, ENGL factory.
Yes, Jürgen Gimpel invited me, the CEO of ENGL. Even the old guys were there. Coming in and telling stories from
the back
Steve
in the days.
Morse and whatever, all their artists. And so I decided you gotta have one of them.
Of course.
And that's why I played it on the whole European tour with the Krups. And I might take it on stage next week with Joachim Witt as well. But I did the whole Joachim Witt thing with the Iridium because it works. It's good for the music, so
sure.
No need to carry it, but it's a little bit like more is more, the Ingvi thing.
Hey, if you can afford it, go for it.
If you can do dual amping or B-amping, and you can do it that easily. You have your small device with 1.2 kilograms, super smart device, and you have another amp, and you can blend it. It's perfect.
There are many ways and many options.
Fun and sound design. It's nothing more. You don't need it, but if you have it, it's fun.
Of course. What about the Diezel? Come on, I switch over to, and it's a very special Diezel. It's the classic
That's
VH4.
The latest iteration of the amp. It's loaded with red bass 6L6 because Peter does not get his hands on KT77 anymore because
supply
chain is broken. Sorry. And since he has to have some power amp tubes that are extremely reliable in these circuits, he had to switch. Actually, I don't like that new tube that much. VH4 can sound a little better if you have the KT77, or what I prefer and what James Hetfield preferred back in the days, the 6550 WE.
6550. To me, I like that tube too in my old vintage Marshalls. I have one there. It's not as rough, but it has a super nice mid-range. There's a certain focus in the mid-range that I like.
Very even mid-range.
Yeah, exactly.
Very much
information.
Information. The basic tone is there. It's not overtone overloaded. It's not squishy at all. If you BS it correctly, a little colder than you would think, actually, and then it sounds good. And but I tweaked this VH4 here. It's from the shop. It's new. You can buy it.
Okay.
I tweaked it to what I think that my VH4 in my storage with my amplifiers should sound like with the 6550s. So a little more presence than I would usually dial in, and you have to uplift the EQ a little bit with this red bass tube because it's pretty dark and mid-rangey.
Okay. We are on the Diezel now. No?
Yeah.
Okay, can you play it just for proof? question. Which are you playing now?
Diezel.
Sorry.
Switch again.
Okay.
Let me.
I have to fool you before I switch because otherwise you. Okay. You play. So. I switch to the other amp then. Okay.
Give me the first one. It's a tough call because it's very similar.
Yeah,
but
okay.
if I have the time. Second one is a Diezel.
This is the Diezel. No, this time you're actually wrong. Can you play? So if this is the Diezel. This is the Diezel. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
okay.
I would want it.
Yeah, no.
It's a little more offensive in the overtone range, a little more clunky in the I don't know.
Yeah.
Below 300 hertz, or so clunk, clunk, clunk.
There's a certain. The Diezel has a unique character of its own. Yeah. It's great.
That's what I like about the amp. It sounds like no other amplifier. It makes sense to have it in a collection of amplifiers, and it's not very easy to capture with modded Marshall circuits as we do with the AMP1 Iridium here. But you can come very, very close. It's more how it feels to play. The attack is a very, very special and unique thing in the VH4. I guess that's why Hetfield likes the amp. Because
for me, being not a metal expert but listening to all that stuff, I hear certain frequency shapes that are, when you play, ideal. When I play, I'm not a metal guy. I start to learn just by listening. What you're doing is like, okay, because I'm always for the tone, and the metal tone is somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the point. And there's like notches going on in the frequency spectrum, and when they are at the right metal place, there's some extra punch.
Yeah.
And that's
I even tend to use two picking techniques for metal with 3 fingers and for the normal stuff with 2 fingers, because you get another. Well, listen to this.
See, this is my metal technique. 1 finger.
2 fingers. 1 finger. 2 fingers. Because you shift the angle.
It sounds fatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a little easier to play downstroke if you have a long guitar strap, and that's why Hetfield is playing with 3 fingers.
Cool.
It's not good for soloing. It can work, but it's great for the chuck downstroke thing. Whereas 2 fingers would be a little scratchy.
I'm a scratchy player then.
I always wondered why Metallica sounded so good, because Hetfield is, and Eddie Van Halen is doing the same, or has been doing the same, but with 2 fingers, but he was holding his pick.
Like that?
In the same angle.
Yeah.
Often.
Okay.
Very often.
Yeah.
And Steve Morse. And that's why he can play all this 1 note per string bullshit, because he's another angle and another armrest here. Not my sports, but yeah. Interesting.
Yep. Okay. Anything with this guitar just for fun?
Yeah. You want to hear how the Klopman sounds?
Just
I mean, this pickup is dialed in very, 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 very close to the strings from the factory, and the Klopman is not as close to the strings, and so it will not have as much gain in that case. And the guitar is out of tune. Let me check this for a second.
So this is a drop C tuning, right?
Yeah, in the Joachim Bitt set I play all the songs with a drop C tuning, because the producers of his last 3 albums, they managed to make 4 or 5 tunings necessary usually to play the set, and I found a way through the set with a 6-string with 22 frets on drop C, so I don't have to change the guitar for all the 17 songs in the live set.
I don't like to switch guitars either, because when you start to play, you get used to the guitar, and then after a while you feel connected with the guitar, and then when you have to pick up a new one, it's kind of cold, you know, another cold start.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I don't like either. And the stress to carry around 4 or 5 or even 8 guitars. If you have 4 guitars for the stage and you need 4 backups, it's 8 guitars for one show. Come on.
Yeah. I have 1 guitar and a backup. That's my.
So we would need more gain because the pickup is really, 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 really far away. I don't know if you can get this on the camera. If you can see it. It's like on the bass side, I think it's 8 millimeters away.
Yeah, you can almost put your finger through it. Okay. Currently on the ENGL.
Yeah, what you can actually see in comparison to the ordinary bridge, and what you can hear in the 85 old wood shovel, the ugly Kahler.
Yeah.
The Kahler system is shitty if it comes to tremolo, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Doesn't really sound like a Floyd. It has a very, very strange way to move the strings, very strange pitch shifting effect in there. But this one is blocked.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in the nut as well, so no locking nut, only the part that looks like, but I removed everything from here.
Yeah, it is no clamps.
Yeah. As I wrote as an answer to the last Academy of Tone episode from this week, actually, there was the question, what do you prefer, Kahler or Floyd Rose? And I answered that question from my account, from number 1
okay,
in the video.
Cool.
Because the thing is, I prefer the Kahler sound. Because it has this certain clunkiness, it has a certain attack, it reduces the bandwidth of the guitar a little bit, it's mid-rangey, and it does it in a very metal way. So it's like conk, conk, conk. Sounds a little better than a Floyd, if you ask me, but not as a trem, only as a bridge. Kerry King was right. The Slayer guys were saying the same.
Ah, okay.
That's why
cool.
they use Kahler systems, because it sounds better for the riff.
So by the way, this was Academy of Tone 125 you're talking about.
Yeah.
So in case we never know, so it's easier to find for you guys out there. So that's that special guitar drop C. And any experience with other drop tunings? So this is kind of your favorite drop?
No, I'm not into drop tunings at all. I just need the tuning for this
tour.
Band, for this tour. We play G standard in Die Krups, and we play 2 songs in drop C. And in bit I have to do the whole thing in drop C because it wouldn't work otherwise. And I don't want to tune up and down all the time. if I play guitar at home or in the shop, I play E standard usually. I don't like the whole drop tuning stuff so much actually, but if it comes to that metal stuff and to the industrial metal, well, it's common. So you got to play what is the concept of the song.
Right.
And if it's drop C or if it's even drop A and you inverse some chords and try to make it work, well, I'm fine, but my personal preference would be E standard or maybe Hendrix tuning half tone.
Okay.
Half tone.
And what kind of strings are you using on this one when you go this low? What is it? Gauge?
It's 11 to 50 actually.
50 is
Yeah,
low button
that's,
string.
the thing is, with this guitar, I tend to use DR strings or the Dario stainless steels. The DR, the tight fits are great for this kind of tuning, and the stainless steel, the Dario's EPS 515, I think is the same name.
Okay.
They are great as well. That's what's right now on the guitar, obviously, the Darios.
Okay.
Not the nickel-plated EXL 115, the stainless steel, because they do the low strings sound a little more bright if they don't have the nickel covering on them.
Okay.
And that's what you need. Bright bass strings and mellow treble strings. That's actually, if you...
That's the most
Long
balanced
yeah.
sound. Yeah. I see the point.
That's working quite good for Hamburger guitars. It's working good for Telecasters as well.
That's your recipe.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Hey, thanks, Nils. This
Thanks for
was
having me.
another exciting episode with Nils Finkeisen about the insights into the metal world with the ENGL Savage 120 and the Diezel VH4. Cheers. Welcome to the world of vintage guitars, and this episode is about comparing three Fender Telecaster thinline from the early 70s. Well, it's a very rare occasion to have four of these guitars with kind of the same features, the same pickups, the same constructions, actually just different colors. And these guitars all have slight tonal differences, and this episode is about to show you what they are and how you can detect what you like best. And yeah, that there is actually a difference in whatever pickups, wood, and all this sums up to an individual character of each guitar. Well, when I listen to the pickups individually, that's one thing, but when I listen to the pickups on top of a backing track or a band or whatever, a loop that I use here, I can see clearly what cuts through, what has more dynamic, what is warm, what is bright. And this is what this is about. So here's the twang. This one, yeah, 1973. Let's compare with the 1972. Same lick. Well, there's a certain quality about this guitar, but there's definitely a certain quality about this blonde one here. How would I describe the difference? Well, we are just comparing the bridge pickup. The bridge pickup on this guitar, to me, is a bit rounder than this one, but the advantage of this bridge pickup is it has more twang. Maybe have an attention on this. Very nice, very round, very musical, warm end bite. And now to me there is more twang, there is more high end, it's a bit more aggressive. Well, I can use this for expressing myself with more bite if I want that. So this is, well, a different animal. I like both guitars, to be honest, but back to this guitar. I hope I can remember my lick. To me, there is one layer of extra dynamics in this guitar and not in this guitar. But this guitar here has this kind of, it's always nice, so I'm not afraid to dig in. This can be mean. Okay, that's me trying to exaggerate a little bit, but maybe that gives you a hint about differences. Well, let's check it with the other. This is a 74. Same position, everything all the way up. There's some twang. Let's compare it to this one again. To me, that's my favorite so far. I mean, how much more expressive this guitar can be, from super soft and still clean and shimmery. You know, when I barely touch the strings, fingers warm, but transparent sparkle. So far, the winner. Let's compare with this again. Yeah. Nice, but not as expressive. Let's see what a 75 three-tone sunburst can do. Wow, this is another one. Very expressive, very dynamic. So I'm torn between this one and that one. Let's go back for that one. Play the same riff one more time here so you can remember. Nice and sparkle high end, very expressive, and it barks when I dig in. Let's see it. Still the winner. Let's compare again with the 75. Very close. In a way, this guitar is also as sparkling and as expressive. When I dig in for the barking, for, you know, being mean, I'm torn, but I think this one is still my winner. Anyway, as you can see, 4 guitars from the same decade, from the same era, with the same construction, with just different colors, they can be quite different. So they are all good guitars, but which one is the perfect for you? That's something you have to find out, and it's all down to what you really want, what your playing style is, and what are the sound nuances you are looking for your style. Hey, this was a great comparison with 4 1970s Fender Telecaster thin lines, 72, 73, 74 and 75. Enjoy.